Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. Now, it just looks like an ordinary card on the front, but it's not. I'm going to undo that ribbon. And in here is a little secret pocket. Now, my card is inspiration from inspiration. So you might remember at the end of September, I made a gift card holder, and actually it folded out that way. And it was a fancy fold gift card holder with a little pocket in there that you could tuck a gift card in. And it was very popular. I taught it at a team retreat. It was popular there and popular online. Lots of you have made variations and versions of it. And then one of my lovely ladies, Glynis, sent me a card in the post, and it did feature in my Cards in the Mail video the other day. And she had made a square card, and she had put a square version of this on the front and then a little further card inside. And I just thought, that's brilliant, because she put a note inside saying, I made this designed off your fancy fold gift card holder. And I would have never have known. And I just thought that was so clever. So my project inspired her card, and her card has inspired this one. And so I'm obviously, as you can see, making I'm not going to try that, making a standard size rectangular card. What I will say, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, if you work in imperial, I am not going to give you imperial measurements. I'm going to give you metric. It's complicated enough with metric. I will give you techniques on how to do an imperial version. And the reason I do that is because I'm British. I live in the United Kingdom, where we and the rest of the world work in metric, and our card stock, I'm just popping my bracelet off because it's noisy. Our card stock is metric, and it's a peculiar size. It's 297 millimeters by 210. That's really awkward to try and convert into imperial, so I'm not, but I will give you a technique on the how-to for these, for all the parts. Okay, let's start. So, really going to work with your trimmer. And if you haven't got one of my trimmers, get one of my trimmers, because they're brilliant. I want you all to buy one of my trimmers. It's got an extending arm that's just awesome. And you can see all the measurements all the way. Oh, I can't get focus. There we go. All the way along. And it's got a cutting blade and a scoring blade. And yes, it does have both metric and imperial. Okay. So this is my full A4 sheet of card. 21 by 14.85 is what I want to cut my piece of cardstock in half. So 21 by 14.85, and I'm going to score it at 10.5, and that is my base card layer. That is my card blank. So if you work in imperial, cut a sheet of cardstock in half and score it in half. So that's your piece of cardstock. Okay, for my little card here on the front, clever Sam knows that this is 21 centimetres. And when you divide that by 3, it's 7 centimetres, which is this bit across here, which is a really nice increment to work in. So I'm going to trim this bit to 11.35 centimetres. Okay, now I'm going to score this one at 7 and 14. When you fold that over, it's going to go like that. So off one end, just take 1 centimetre off. Just whiz it off. 1 centimetre. And so now, because that's going to be the bit I chop, it's going to fold flat as a pancake. Okay, so it's that length, that width. Okay, so I'm going to fold this over, and I want to trim like this. Okay, so it's bottom corner of this narrowest part to there. And this is where the trimmer comes into its own, amongst many other things. I've got a little groove there, and I'm just lining it all up. Oh, I had lined it up. Let's go the other direction. That might be easier. Chop it off, and that's my little bit made. So that's going to sit on the front. Okay, So, as I said, whatever size you start with here, you want this to be the same, okay? And then just take a tiny little bit off. And the reason I made it 11.35 centimetres is this is 10.5 centimetres wide, this is 7. Okay, so that's a difference of 3.5 centimetres. The length of it is 14.85, and when you take off 3.5 centimetres, you need this one to be 11.35. So that's the reason I've set it at that measurement. So you might want to make a square card. I don't know, let's just pick a figure out of our head. Whatever it is, your square card, make this one fit on top. So you want the same difference, okay? And the same principle will apply when you start getting these layers on as well. Now this is the evening, no, it's not evening evergreen, it's Owens Garden, brand new suite that is coming out. Well, it's out now, you can get early release. It will be in the January to June mini catalogue. This, the stamps, the dies, but the cotton paper won't, which typically I haven't actually used the cotton paper this time round. But yeah, it's rather lovely. I would say grab it now. Which papers? I'm going to take that one and this one. Okay, so the principle that I gave you before, so long as your measurement, the difference between there and there and there and there is the same, you will get even borders. And the same with this. With it closed... Oh, hello, Fauna. Did you bring me a present? She did. She brought me some scrumply paper. So this is your base card with it closed. Measure it from there and there. And then... She's playing fetch now. And then just cut a piece of designer series paper that is 0.5 centimetre shorter and narrower. Now, in my case, I want to make my lovely background piece of paper 10 centimetres by 14.35. Okay, that's going to sit on there, just on the front with a nice border. So I'm going to pop that off to one side and hold on to that bit. And if you remember, this was 7 centimetres by 11.35, so I want to make... Oh, God, for goodness sake. Oh, she's got dimensional stuck to her. Seriously, go play with it. Not there. This 7 centimetres by 11.35, which means my layers of paper need to be 6.5 centimetres by 10.85. So I'm going to cut... Oh, for goodness sake. God, the world's gone mad. All my cats are shouting. I'm going to cut 2 in this pattern. And then I've got some of this left over. So 6... Let's cut this bit first, I think. Because that's a nice workable size. So I've got 3 pieces that are all exactly the same size. I'm going to have one for the front there. As I said before, that same 0.5 centimetre shorter and narrower. I'm going to have another one on the inside there so that when you fold over your gift card holder bit, you can see that there's a little pocket, and then that one on the inside. So let's get all of these stuck down. Stampin' seal. I love this with the gold detail. It's really lovely. To be fair, I love any speciality paper when it's got metallic detail. It's just really very nice. I'm going to get this one on here as well. And I'm going to get this bit stuck down. So this, as I said, is folding over. So you just want some tear and tape along there. Ooh, that's got a fuzzy end on it. Let's get rid of that. Oops. fold that over. That's stuck down now, so I'm just going to give it a bit of an oomph. Okay, and then before I stick it down, I want to get some ribbon on the back, because as you can see, it's only round the front bit. Now, you don't need to, but it will flop open, and your card would perhaps go like that. Well, actually, that's just tipped over, so we don't want to do that. Okay, so I used Evening Evergreen on that. I'm going to use Pale Papaya on this one. Just chewed that up, and because I'm tying it to one side, you can see that I'm pulling it so that I've got the same length at the side. So when I tie it, hopefully that bow, there'll be enough length for me to, well, there's enough length on this, but I don't want to trim the tails too short, otherwise I'm never getting that tied back up again. Let's get a better pair of scissors, because those are chewing up everything. Okay, and now we can assemble this part of the card. And then here I want to do some stronger tape, so I'm going to go with Seal Plus. That apparently my Seal Plus doesn't want to come out at all, so we used tearing tape instead. It's that kind of a day. Right. So I'm going to take the backing off these. One. That one, and then the last one, if I can get the backing off. There we go, backing off there, and just check it's the right way open, and you just pop that in the center. It's such a detailed paper that, there we go. And that gives me the same border all the way. Look, it's not. It's too narrow at the top. And I've just well pushed that down. Oh, well. It's handmade. It's handmade. Right. And then to finish off, a little bit of decoration on the front. Now, so Owens Garden, a red rubber stamp, and then we've got the dies. Oh, that's what I planned to do. I knew there was something else I'd planned to do. Oh, Samantha. I'd planned to cut some of those to sit it behind, and I completely forgot. Oh, what a silly head. Do we think I can get that off? I kind of looked at the dies after I'd made the card. Oh, look at that ish. So I wanted to do that to put it behind rather than the stamping on the front. Ugh. Let's try this. So let's hope I've got some. Oh, I have. Fabulous. I've got the darker colour. Is that going to fit in my mini? It's not. Right, bear with me. I'm going to have to break the big one out. I haven't used the big cut and emboss for ages. So, okay, plate 1, plate 2, clear cutting plate. I'm going to put this face up, put my Evening Evergreen over the top, and then another cutting plate over that. Great, that's come out. straight away. The reason I put the die facing up is that sometimes with these detailed dies, it doesn't like to go through the cardstock, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to cut through. So actually, if you put the die facing up, you're more likely to get a perfect cut first time. Hello, you wanted to help, didn't you? So I'm just popping all these bits out, and I think that's all of them. There we go. And then I'm going to get some blobs of glue. Sorry, little brief pause there. My phone was ringing and I needed to get it answered. So, okay, so I've turned this over so that I can blob little bits of glue in some of the larger leafy parts. And that should work nicely. Okay, let's try this again. So, yeah, that's definitely the front of the card, the correct way round. And look at that, that's so pretty, isn't it? Is this glue still going to hold up? Probably not. Let's stick a couple more bits in. Oh, I do giggle at myself sometimes. That's okay, I don't mind, I can laugh. And let's pop that on there. And it's just a little bit of background behind there, isn't it? That's really rather lovely. And then on this one, I did some heat embossing and then some stamping with this one here that you can see in there. And look, I have no idea how long I've chattered on for already, but I'm not going to do that on this one because I knew what I wanted to do and then forgot. But it's a lovely stamp set, really very nice. And like I say, you can get it early. And then there are these embellishments as well. Those are the evening evergreen there at the top. And then these are the pale papaya down at the bottom, and they're just very pretty. So I just popped a couple on there, but I think that's a really nice card. It's a gift card holder on a card. So I'm going to leave that open for the photographs. Then I'm going to do battle with trying to tie it up to take more photos. Anyway, I hope you like that. And like I say, my gift card holder inspired Glynis to turn it into a square card, and that inspired me to turn it into a standard size card. I hope the method for getting your sizing works. Whatever this size is, going that way or going that way, you need to have the same size border around. Other than that, go for it. You can make a card, you can make a big square, a little one, whatever. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.